What's up, everybody? Welcome back to It's Time to Talk, Watertron Astrology. So, you have confronted successfully your darkness, and you have released successfully your emotional baggage. This has in turn allowed for you to reclaim your emotional and physical authenticity and security. I want you to breathe in and breathe out. A sigh of relief, okay? Because you made it. Now, I rolled the dice. We got Neptune and Scorpio in the 8th house. So, Neptune deals with spirituality, the unseen, right? People like to relate a lot of Neptunian energy to like clouds, and it's easy for things to be deceived, and you can see different images and messages, and things can hide and masquerade because of the Neptunian glare. That, like, Neptune is so extremely dreamy and imaginative, okay? And it's in the sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio is an energy where we deal with betrayals, traumas, fears, our phobias. It's the subconscious. Okay, this is where we talk about the darkness. This is where the emotional baggage will lie. Okay, because we're also in the 8th house with it, which is home to Scorpio. So this is where we are strictly talking about traumas, phobias, emotional baggage, the darkness you have confronted in order to reclaim your emotional and physical authenticity. Now we go back to this Neptune energy because there has been deception, there has been betrayal. This has been on a very deep ancestral level, and this has plagued the unconscious in your subconscious mind. This has been, though, entwined within the DNA, your DNA coils. So this is in the blood. There's an energy that mixed with your blood, and you had to purify, you had to transform it out, you had to alchemize it out from the root. Okay? And a lot of you guys did this. Okay? And this took a lot of work. But in doing so, you reclaimed your emotional authenticity, your emotional security, your physical authenticity, and your physical security. So job well done. We got Saturn. That's what I'm talking about. And we got the 3rd house. That's what I'm talking about. So the flip message, because I feel like this is calling out an energy that you had to call out when you went into these dark corners, and this emotional baggage that you started to release. You started to call out what an energy had. There was a demonic presence that was also contributing to a lot of the betrayal and the deception that you had been experiencing when you went into those shadows. I love how we get to Saturn in the 3rd house because it flips this energy. It's like a reminder to flip it, because Neptune is your spiritual gifts. Okay? And Neptune in the sign of Scorpio is extremely detective. Okay? They can sense the underlying intentions of people and even animals and beings, even just of the environment. Able to recognize certain patterns, and extremely psychic and aware of depletion. And with the 8th house, they know how to alchemize and shield themselves from detrimental psychic forces. Saturn in the third house is what we're talking about, because Saturn in the third house is going to teach you the game. You're going to learn a game. You're going to learn something or two. A lot of you guys may have Saturn in your third house. Y'all may have Neptune in Scorpio. But a lot of this is for the divine judges too. You guys in the 8th house, there are demons in the 8th house. This is where our demons lie, which are like emotions or things that you try to bury down there. You confronted these things in order to reclaim yourself, but it's like you had to reclaim yourself from this presence that we're speaking on, and you had to go in with this Saturn in the third house and really learn where it rooted from, where it stemmed from. Saturn in the third house is going to teach you how to learn information, how to digest it correctly. Okay? Let's get some more on this message. There go the divine judge energy, y'all. We got Libra and Aquarius. Yeah, so things are balancing out. You balanced out your mind. You balanced out the higher mind. You've been working like, I'm hearing 33 for some reason, y'all. So a lot of you guys are master number 33s. Or if you didn't know, now you know. And you've mastered the higher mind. You balanced out things on the higher planes of existence where it was stemming from. The root. And I'm talking about where it was extremely hard to pinpoint a target. That's where we get back to that Neptunian energy that's present. It's like hard to like sense where it's going on. And it's like because there's so many components that go into it. Like I said, it's something that's intertwined in the DNA codes. So you have to unravel and like dissect and really do a lot of shadow work intentionally, right? But I'm getting some of you guys did this consciously and unconsciously. So I'm talking to two groups here. So this may be new to you for you to even understand the amount of skill that you have acquired and possessed and applied in this situation of conquering your darkness and your emotional baggage being released in order to reclaim your emotional and physical authenticity and security. You've been extremely mentally flexible, which has allowed for a lot of energy to balance out within your world that you are connected to. Because again, we get to this 8th house in the Scorpio energy where you're deeply connected. This is in your roots, this is in the DNA codes. But because you've been so much of like a, I don't want to say a vessel, but almost like a conduit of like this very strong rock power that is stern and has morals and is fixed on learning and digesting information over and over again and inventing new ways of operating with that information to continuing to make sure that alignment is maintained. Ooh. Okay, and we stimulation and productivity, y'all. So on stimulation, we got Aries, you know, and that's just more Mars energy, which is the 8th house. That's Scorpio too. This is stimulation with the chili pepper, and we get productivity with Cancer. Yeah, it's like there has been a lot of internal energy that you have successfully conquered that is benefiting your identity with this Aries energy, but also the family with this Cancer energy. It's like two birds with one stone. I'm hearing we got feathers on here, and it's like as above, so below, internally, externally. So it's like you where you maybe have been at one point not able to move past or felt stagnant, you jump to the physical. And then where you get stagnant in the physical, you jump to the mental. Where you get stagnant in the mental, you jump to the emotional. Where you get stagnant in emotional, you jump to the spiritual. Until you're able to continue moving things. And you've done that so much to where things have successfully allowed you to reclaim all of your emotional and physical authenticity and security. That's a powerful message, y'all. Alright, we're going to go ahead and close this out with some tarot, y'all. Job well done. This is a lot of energy right here. Capitalizing this overall message. Let me get the Hierophant. I love that. That's some good energy, y'all. Some strong, stable energy. Okay? Because the Hierophant is Taurus energy. Yeah, you've had to ultimately purify. And then we get Saturn in Taurus. You've had to purify. You've had to like learn how to do it, get it out the mud. You've had to be stranded with 7 tools and learn how to transmute energy from your own lifetime and ancestral lifetimes. Clarify the Hierophant. I'll close this out, y'all. We got the 10 of Wands. Yeah, you've had to get in there. You've had to get in there and understand your ability over the situation, but also I'm hearing the sensitivity of the situation, but I'm also feeling like it's something else. It's like the delicacy. I guess that's the same thing, but it's almost like delicacy is just like it's delicate. Like any wrong move could tip the scale and shift the entire reality of existence is what I'm hearing with the 10 of Wands. But it's like you've managed to pull it off. And now it's like you can let the burdens down because you've mastered it and you are now in this energy of power and skill and reclamation. And it's like this is who you are. And it's like you've learned who you are in this process of even dealing with the situation and conquering it. Clarify the 7 of Pentacles to close out. We get the World. Y'all, that's a beautiful close out. Because it's just an insight for you guys. And good job. Good job on closing out cycles and not allowing old cycles to continue. That could cause stagnation and like lack of effort. It's almost like wasted effort. It's like everything that your ancestors have done and have fought for, especially the ones who have been putting forth effort to kind of change something within their line. That's all the energy that you even gained into this last energy that you mustered up to conquer your darkness and to release that emotional baggage. And that's all that it took, and it was right beside you, and now boom, you reclaimed your emotional, physical authenticity and security, not only for yourself but also for your lineage and your family and your ancestry. So with the World, there's a completion, a mass completion, a mass closeout. But it's where you get to keep the knowledge, you get to keep the wealth, you get to keep the understanding, you get to keep the fortunes, you get to keep your life, you get to keep your health, you get to keep your family, you get to keep the shelves of memories of grandeur. So without further ado, I'm proud of you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.